Welcome back to my channel. This is John Mazzaro with Remax Results, and I have Ivan Oberon with me today, and he's with Edge Home Finance. He's bringing additional information about cool programs that he can bring to us as a broker. He's going to talk to us today about bank statement only programs and how they might work for you to obtain a loan. So, Ivan, tell us a little bit about yourself and about the product that we're going to discuss today.
Thanks, John. Happy to be here. Like you said, I'm Ivan Oberon. I'm with Your Kingdom Lender, but I'm powered by Edge Home Finance, and I've been in the industry for over 10 years. Really started on the real estate investment side of things, and I was raising capital. I was doing fix and flips and investments, and throughout my entrepreneurial journey, I tied in with this institutional private capital, creating more relationships there until I realized that I could add even more value to homeowners by adding traditional mortgage and every other type of program that serves that consumer, right? And what they call a consumer is somebody who's looking to buy their primary residence and owner occupy it, whether it's their first time or their 10th time. So I'm happy to be of service, and really it's all about who you know, right? We don't like to say no, so we like to have enough resources to be able to get the tricky, not so easy, not cookie cutter type deals done. And this is one of the programs that we can get that done by.
Outstanding. And this would be a great program for self-employed people because as self-employed people, our incomes sometimes are variable and it's harder to document things. And,
Yeah.
you know, bills are still getting paid, but, there's variability and things like that. So tell us how somebody would work with this program and what would be required.
Yeah. Well, there's different types of qualification, right? You have your traditional full income documentation that looks at your employment history. It looks at your income. It looks at your tax returns. It's just a slew of different things that it looks at. And if you don't meet all the different criteria for timeline and income and this and that, you're just not going to get there, especially as a self-employed individual.
Mhm.
And because some of the advantages of being self-employed, right, is how do we reduce our tax burden and our overall tax liability by being an entrepreneur, potentially a provider of jobs to other people. There's a lot of advantages that we get in the tax code for doing that. And some CPAs are very proficient. And I've had clients that I know are making $1 million, but on paper, it looks like they made $45,000. And now all of a sudden they're trying to buy a house or refinance, and oh, well, we can't do that because it's not about the income you're making, it's the qualifying income and how
Mhm.
underwriters look at that. So one of the great things about the bank statement only program, and there are many different lenders that offer this program. I'm connected with, I'd say, the top 20 that do it, because even within the bank statement program, different lenders have different nuances, different guidelines, different overlays. So that's why we like to be able to have the option, the creativity to switch from one to the other in case we run into something specific, because every borrower is unique. And I can tell you, like with that guy that we went full income qualifying, he kind of came down, somewhere around underneath $50,000 a month in qualifying income, and he was trying to buy a $2.8 million house. So as you can imagine, you're not quite going to get there. So we said, hey, why don't we try our bank statement only program? Just send me 12 months of bank statements. That's literally all you have to send. Not tax returns, not pay stubs, nothing else. And there is also a 24-month bank statement program. And so it all depends on how far we want to or need to go out to create a specific average income within those deposits. But 12 months is the one that I'm doing most often. And that same borrower with the bank statements ended up having $198,000 a month in qualifying income using this program versus his less than 50 trying to go tax returns and full income qualification. So as you can imagine, it made a significant difference. One thing with the bank statement program to note is, because underwriters aren't dumb, lenders aren't dumb, they want to protect themselves, so they're not going to give you 100% of your deposits. So they always include what's called an expense factor. And the default expense factor is 50% of whatever your deposits are. But if we need more and we can justify it, we can go down as low as sometimes 10%, Typical is 10 to 20% is going to be the minimum expense factor that a lender might allow, as long as we have a CPA letter or a registered accountant letter, something like that that says, oh no, they're not 50%, they're really only 20%. They don't have employees, all the nuances. And now all of a sudden, man, we got some income we can work with, and we can get a deal done where we wouldn't have been able to otherwise.
That's amazing. And this is not only for a purchase, this could be for a refinance, and you even have a second mortgage program. So somebody
Correct.
planning, they've got a really good rate if they're lucky to get a 2 or 3% mortgage, and they're like, I'm not getting rid of that, but I want to go ahead and get some extra money out. You can do this with a second mortgage.
Correct. Bank statement seconds, full income HELOCs or seconds. And
Mhm.
you're absolutely right. It's like I can't do a cash out refinance right now. I don't want to lose that 2-3% rate. So now we look at what's called a blended rate, right? This
Mhm.
a rate on a second is always going to be higher than the first, of course. And then the rate on a bank statement program is always going to be a little bit higher than, say, traditional qualifying with full income qualifying, right? The way you got to look at it is what's the most risk to the lender or to the investors. Every layer of risk that you add, like, okay, I can't do full income qualifying, I have to go this other creative program. That's a layer of risk. And of course, the lender's price for that stuff. But it's still very
Mhm.
competitive, and it's still better than not being able to get the loan that you need at all.
Exactly. No, that's wonderful. And I know self-employed people have some time difficulty getting things done, and they're told no by traditional lenders many times, and that leaves you with the option of a maybe a portfolio lender in the small bank, but the small bank isn't going to give you the 30-year finance, and they're going to give you maybe a 5 or 10 year draw and have to redo. And if you're at the wrong end of the business cycle, you could be in
Yeah.
trouble. So
Yeah.
having a longer term, better product would provide more protection for that self-employed person. And it could be a great product again for getting capital first, second, refinance,
Absolutely.
and or purchase.
Absolutely right.
Oh, and that's great. So you're not a one-trick pony that way. You said you have about 20 different resources. Again, that's the advantage of a broker. Um, and when you're utilizing unique products, utilizing a broker is very important because you can work through the different problems should they come up.
Mhm.
That's wonderful. Anything else, Ivan, about this product that people should know?
Yeah, one thing that's relevant is your down payment on a purchase, as an example.
Hmm.
Uh, because it's not a conventional loan program, they don't have these low down payments or down payment assistance type things, but you can do it with as little as 10% down on these
Hmm.
programs. So it's still very aggressive. You don't have to go all the way to 15 or 20%. And on a cash out refinance, if a bank statement program was your only option, you can go to 90% loan to value on that as well. So typically it's just 10% equity that's required, and that's the most aggressive out there in the industry.
Wow, that is amazing. Now, is there any PMI on that 10%?
There is a little bit of MI, and the cost of MI differs for each lender.
Cool. All right. Well, that's great. Um, anything else, Ivan, about that, or we'll go ahead and wrap this one up.
Yeah, no, I guess the only other thing, depending on where you're watching this from, it does we can go up to a $3 million loan amount too. So it definitely
Hmm.
crosses well into the jumbo loan space as well.
Excellent. Wonderful. And again, you lend nationwide, uh, regardless of where you're located. Ivan, because he can do it nationwide, he can get it done. So don't let that stop you from giving him a call. All of Ivan's information will be down below this video, and reach out to him at any time. It's free to talk, and he'll do his best to get you the loan if he can.
Thank you
So
so much. That's right. Happy to help.
awesome. Well, with that, thank you for coming today, Ivan, and we'll talk soon.
All right. Talk to you soon.
Okay.